Hey guys, Chris Gerber here with Kinnettic Kreations. In the shop today we have a 23 Mule Pro FXT. We'll be doing a turn signal kit on. We're going to be doing 2 large ambers up front. We've now made a mount for the steering column with the lever as well. And kind of go through where we're at. If you look in here, we've got the horn in already. And here is the harness, the front. This is our module. So you're going to get this with your kit. It's all labeled. You won't have dash indicators, of course, but you will have a rear harness, front harness, and then for the lever. Basically going to run the wires underneath this seat. Red wire, if you can get a heavy gauge, will work great for these procedures. As you can see, we've ran it back to here to tape it on, and then we're going to pull it through, and then we'll get it up here behind the dash. That's where everything is going to plug in. So we're going to work on that. And again, that's where we're at right now. As we go further, all right, again here, so we're going to show you the dash here. So here's the horn here. That's where you're going to mount that, and there's a screw right there that you can just take out and put it back in. When you go to do our horns, make sure you do your connection and then put it in. Here is the module you'll get for this Pro FXT, and as you can see, it's labeled to the lever, and then it goes. You won't have dash indicators here, but you'll have front harness and rear harness, and it's all going to tuck back when we get done here. We are making a mount that will go on the steering lever as well. But you can do rocker switches if you want. There is room in this for there. But if you go to do these installs, try to get a good wire to feed back. And that'll go in the dump bed. But once you get it in the back, I'm going to go down here. And so our harness will run back over the beam there. And you basically you're going to plug into right here. And then you're going to plug in over there as well. And it takes out this whole rear harness. Our harness does. So it is all plug and play. And again, I'm going to hook this up. And then I'll show you the next step. But it'll go right in here. You see there's one unplugged there and one unplugged here. And ours all plug into it. So thanks for watching. Again, we'll put this together on a 23 Kawasaki Pro FXT. Okay, so after you get that harness in, you can see now that we zip tie it up, runs across. It had plugged into the back of that light, and it plugs into the back of this one. We're here now headed to the front, so now we'll discuss where we are off to after that. So we're going to lift the bed up, zip tied in. So if you start any of our projects, a couple of things nice to have are zip ties, of course, but then also the zip ties that fit in. They're a 1/4 inch hole. They got the little spring on them that holds up there, but Cowie has a couple of nice metal brackets in here as well. But like I said, just make sure that gets wrapped up nice, and then we'll go from there. Appreciate it. We'll be back. Things that happen on installs. Broken glass somehow. Good thing I have the warranty on it. So as you can see, our runs back there. Now we're to here where we're going to start coming forward, and this is where I say having the red wire hooked to here is a lifesaver, because you're going to feed it down through there from back here, and we're going to just want to make sure we're all heading in the right direction. So we'll want to unplug those, and we're going to be bringing them back around. So now we've got it fed to the middle here. As you can see, this is what we do with our red wire. So it's fed now to the middle. We'll zip tie to this brace. We ran it down from there, and we'll zip tie in here. We've still got a little bit of slack here yet, which until we get everything plugged in, you do not want to totally zip tie up. We've got it all ran back here. So again, you'll run to each light. Our harness shows you which way. We go down below, feed the wire through, and now you're up to here. Now, we're debating whether we can run it. I think I'm going to pull those. There's 5 rivets right here to get to the dash, to be able to run the red wire then down and pull it back up and meet everything behind the dash. But I will show you when I get that done. Going behind the dash is strictly those 5 rivets. So they're plastic pop rivets. The tool we use is this one. So we have those. You can get them at your local hardware store as well. But we'll be back working on a 23 Mule Pro FXT by Kawasaki. Again, it's Kinnettic Kreations. Okay guys, so like I said with the red wire trick, we had to take this screw out. You'll see it at the bottom of an XT if there's an access panel that comes up to your screen. We took this stuff out just to see, but couldn't get the floor out good, so we dropped the belly pan. We dropped the belly pan and then fed it up with the red wire. It's now coming through in the dash. We're going to make the connection back here behind the whole dash. We'll do the drilling of the light. Again, I'll show those steps as well. But taking the belly pan off was definitely easier on the Pro FXT to feed the wire up through to get it here behind the dash. So again, black tape, a good solid wire. Buddy, if you got one to help you, Jacob and I did this one. Thank goodness he was here too. And that's where we're at. So we'll start putting these things together. All right, so we've got our front harnesses wired in. Over to the left side, over to the right side. Again, our harnesses all come marked, so you'll know what side they are. If they say front left or front right, that's as you sitting in the vehicle. So your left side will be as you're sitting in the vehicle. We put our markers in. The customer wanted one big on each side. One way to check it is you can just turn the key on quick. Yep, there they are. So we've got the big markers there. We're working on the lever. That'll be soon. But put all of our floorboard back in. We'll put the belly pan back on here in a minute. Always set your stuff off, all your plastic rivets and everything in a separate container. And then you know they're there. But we'll be, after we get the lever on, we'll do our final inspection. We got tail lights, so we know we're somewhat plugged in. And if you don't have tail lights, then you have to make sure you go through and check all your connections again. But we ran it down there and fished it through the top, and then we're in behind. We have not fastened the board down yet, but it's be there too. So we'll be back once we get the lever in.
All right, we're going to put our lever on. It clamps over the steering column and uses the factory bolt to hold it in. So first we got to take this off. You need a 13mm wrench to pop the first nut off. And then take the second nut off. These are kind of like a jam nut. This one fits inside the other one. So save those. Then you need a 12 to take the factory bolt off. And there's a nut in the middle that will spin, so you want to catch that. You want to catch the nut and the spacer that come out. Now we don't need the factory bolt anymore because our kit includes a longer one. But we will need to turn the lever to the right. And now we'll put our bracket on. So put your bracket on. Got our longer bolt. Got the shaft on it with no threads.
Nice thing is people won't have that problem because they'll have the right one in our kit. Just get rid of that one right away. Get rid of the old one right away.
So put the bolt in, 2 washers. Space it out from the welds on the column. I'll put the spacer through the shaft, through the gas strip. I'll put this other nut in there. And as the bolt goes through, we'll put in the nut that's got the shoulder on it. That'll be our spacer for this side and fits right in our bracket. And we'll hold the nut in between them. Tighten this nut up. And before you put the last one on, you'll want to position your lever. So put it vertical there. Put the last factory nut on. Nice and tight. Feed our harness through along the column. Then we'll plug into our module over here. You can zip tie all this stuff up in here behind the dash.
Not until you finish out, then make sure it works.
Yes, we will turn it on.